What I was planning on starting with was just a word of caution as to the FUD that is right now in the crypto chart, because I believe this is part of a technical move in the market. Again, the media is used to move the market, and just for you to see that this is a media used to move the market. I want to show you that the S&P has done the same drop on the daily chart while meeting a level of resistance set in the previous year in August. So again, we find ourselves blaming the SEC for a move in the charts, but if we look at what the S&P is doing the same thing. We know that the Senate has signed a bill, Joe Biden has signed a bill as well. We know that this generally, raising the debt ceiling, causes a lift, but it causes a lift after a drop when the market makers collect liquidity to re-push it into the market. So first there's a drop and then there's a lift. This is the same thing that happened during COVID. I won't be showing the patterns in the charts because I have showed it to you before. So before any bull run, there is a drop. I believe that the drop has started. I believe that the drop has started in the S&P as well. And I believe the S&P, again, the daily chart is printing 3 bearish divergences on the regular RSI. It hasn't yet reached the top, but the S&P doesn't have to reach the top in order to come down to the bottom. So it doesn't need to do that. It has a different flow. It's not as edgy as the crypto space. So we have been looking at this pink line, this level of support and resistance for months now, I'd say almost years. And here we are, we met it, we're getting rejected, we have a series of bearish divergences. What do we need to do in order to break this is to come down, hit the low one more time. Again, if I'm looking at the space and I'm taking this space, let me just put a rectangle. Again, I'm talking about the pattern on the S&P. If I'm taking this space as the consolidation space, we have 1, 2, 3 touches to the top and only 1 and 2 touches to the bottom. So we need one more swing down before we break out of this sideways channel for consolidation. At the minimum, I would say we're going to go do a lower low, which is something that I believe. I don't have yet the data for confirming that break into the lower step. So at a minimum, we need to see a third touch here before breaking to the upside. Even if I am to extend this rectangle up a bit higher, we still don't have 3 swings to the bottom. We only have 2 swings to the bottom on the daily chart. So just for you to take everything with a pinch of salt, because I believe there will be even more FUD coming our way, and we might see some dramatic moves to the down. So I'm gonna keep an eye on what the S&P is doing as well, because the whole market will be doing the same thing. It is part of the liquidity collection cycle before the lift. Now I'm going to look at the DXY. The DXY at the moment is going sideways on the daily. It's done so for a certain number of days. So ever since it broke here a little bit higher, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 days of sideways, while it is a resetting the daily to the bottom. So we know from the coin's rhythm of resetting stocks, when the stock is resetting to the bottom and the price action is going sideways, this generally indicates a markup momentum is about to come. So again, we are holding the daily 20. Here it is, this orange line. And if I am to look at other daily support for the DXY, the 200, The 5, the 13, the 20 has crossed over the 50. So it is quite strong for the up. An upwards move for the DXY means a downwards move for the S&P and the coins. So that would work with what I have anticipated for the S&P and the coins. Okay, now just to have a quick glance at the news as well. Tuesday. Okay, we don't have any particular news from that's red color coded from the US today. Tomorrow either. Thursday, the unemployment claims 130, one red flag. And Friday seems to be relatively quiet. So this week Thursday might bring some volatility in 1:30 p.m. UK time, but outside of that, we seem to have a very peaceful week in terms of the news. So that means the TA will play out with less volatility, but it will still play out in the same way it does, which means what I'm gonna tell you, which leads me to what I'm gonna tell you now about the levels of support and backtest. We are below. I'm gonna start with BTC. We are below the 20 EMA on the daily, below the 50 EMA on the daily. We have broken the local support. We have done a lower low. However, we haven't yet broken the support and resistance line, this red line here at 25K. The 25K area is a strong area of support and resistance. We've come very close to it, but we haven't broken it. We have broken what seems to be a triangle pattern. We've broken out of it. We haven't moved back into it. I had it like this because this is more consolidated than a little bit lower. But again, with all the choppy sideways that we've been having over the past month, this is quite challenging to establish, and it's very challenging to trade. I've been holding back on trades for BTC and ETH because of the lack of strength of the signals. So in times like these, I think it's worth waiting to see a change of direction. We have had that change of direction to the downside. We've broken the 20 convincingly. Now I'm waiting for a level of backtest. For that level of backtest, I will be moving on to the 4-hour. Now, I have showed on the previous chats in on the ETH chat, I've showed you a swing with a triple backtest on the 4-hour. This is what I expect to see here as well. If we're looking at the drops, unless there is a snap move to the upside, which again can happen in choppy sideways, if we stick to the downtrend after breaking the 20 on the 4-hour, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here back tests again. There's a lot of sideways. There's a lot of small range for Bitcoin. It's been an absolutely horrible coin to trade because of all the choppy and then snappy moves. Not a fan of it. Not a fan of ETH. Either of them have been quite annoying to chart and read. But it is what it is right now. Summers are like that. I expected the summer to be quite choppy and quite small range sideways, and it is proving to be exactly that. It started out like that. So I expect to see a drop down to the 25 level. After the 25 level is backtested, we might see is hit, then we might see the backtest of the 20 EMA. That might happen first. So we might see continuation before backtest. I am watching for the back test to gain an entry on the 20 EMA on the 4-hour, but I might see a move down first before that back test actually happens. I'm not a fortune teller. I don't have a crystal ball to be able to say which one is going to happen first, but it's definitely going to move, going to continue moving down for now at least. If it's going to hit the 25K level first, then it is what it is. If you are already in a short, if you've taken a position somewhere around here, happy days. But if you haven't, again, patience is key. I am watching the 25K level as support, and the reason for that is this is a crucial level of correction for this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there we go. Okay. Now, the technical target of the triangle is 22.8, 22.7, 23.7 is the 382. The 25K is between the 236 and the 382 level. So it's right in there, and it is crucial because it is the back test of this consolidation structure. We have a rounded bottom here if we're looking at the daily as it stands, and for this rounded bottom to hold for continuation, the 25K is essential. Can we wick down to the 23.7 through the 25K and then quickly snap up above it? Yes, we can. That wouldn't invalidate this. Again, as far as I have seen lately, wicks do not invalidate direction. They used to, but at the moment, apparently the momentum is quite high for, or was quite high for wicks to invalidate such moves. So we could have the 382 correction done at 23.7 and then wick up and continue upwards, or we can have the technical target at 22.8, 22.7 reached, and then continue. Let me just, there we go. And then continue to consolidate and turn this into a bigger sideways move for the summer. It all depends on how the market is holding up. XRP has been holding quite well its level of support and resistance. It didn't move with the market yesterday, and I'm saying that because generally alts tend to move more dramatically if there is a crash coming. Both ETH and XRP moved quite at the same pace as BTC. So at the moment, we haven't broken any major levels on the daily to say that a major crash is coming. I'm very reticent to big statements like that, and I'm sticking to step-by-step measurements at the moment, because the 25K area for Bitcoin and the 382 for Bitcoin haven't yet been reached. So we're not yet in that space of a bigger move downwards. We are still holding that daily support and resistance. So where am I looking for potential back tests and potential support? 25K is the level of support and resistance. Let me see, where did I, this is, okay. I'm going to remove the fib, and I'm going to switch to the 4-hour. Okay, so the major daily support is 25K. The area of backtest, I'm going to take this area of confluence of 26.5. Again, it's not easy to chart this, but I'm taking this as resistance, this as support throughout, spikes throughout. Usually for supports, there are 3 touches, 2 spike throughs, but in this choppiness, anything goes, honestly. I'm just looking at what happened on the left in the past as resistance to confirm the current support. So current area of backtest 26.5, current level of daily support 25K. It still is holding. So the 25, once the 25K area breaks, why is it? Just a second. There we go. Okay. 25. It's 25K. 25.3K, thereabouts. 25K, rounding it off just to have a mental number in mind. There we go. It's very precise the way it reached these tops, but you can see this one here at 25.2 hasn't been reached. Anyways, 25K to round it off. Previous level of support was 26.5. Now, how do I watch for possible entries? I start my day charting to see where Asia has finished and what kind of moves Asia has made on Traders Reality. So at the moment we have Asia with Sydney, Tokyo, and Hong Kong putting some highs here at the low end of the move yesterday. We are holding the M2. If we're holding the M2 and the daily level, we're at least going to go up to test the pivot point. Generally, if one level of support holds, then the next level, the next target should be the next odd or even number. So if the M2, which is an even number, holds, the M4 should be the current level of resistance. However, lately, the ranges have been too small for that to happen. This used to be, before we started this choppy sideways that has been, again, it's nauseating to chart it, to understand what's going on. Lately, what we have done is we've moved only within one single area of support. So from M2, we went to M3. M3 is the middle level, and it is where reversals happen. The M3 for today, these levels change every day. The M3 for today is on the same level with the high ADR, on the same level with the low level of last week, and it is around the area of M50, the 50 EMA on M50. That's the motorway in Dublin. It's the 50 EMA on the 1 hour. So it's around 26.5, which is that strong level of confluence where I expect the 20 EMA on the 4 hour to be back tested. So this is the level that I'm watching for today. We might not reach this. The way I'm planning on trading this is at the start of New York, because London generally ranges sideways. It just holds levels for New York to kick in. At the start of New York, I will be watching to see if there is a spike up to the high ADR or the M3, or if there is a lift towards those levels backed up by the stochastic momentum on the 1 hour and the 4 hour. If we have those things happening, indicating a lift is continuing, I will wait for those levels to be hit, and I will wait for a reversal vector on the 1 hour. That reversal vector may be along this this purple vector here is a reversal vector at the top of a swing. Purple vector at the top of the swing indicates reversal. So something along those lines. We had the same thing on XRP yesterday. That helped me gain an entry here at the start of New York. So I'm going to be watching out for the same thing today. I don't know if it's going to happen. Again, I'm telling you what my strategy is going to be. I don't know if it is going to happen. I might actually just take an entry around this area or around the pivot point if it's not looking like New York is going to make a move to backtest. I don't expect this move, this consolidation what we've had over the past night and half of today. So this holding of the range here at the bottom, to me, is not a reversal structure for the up at the moment. It is just building up a little bit of steam to backtest the 26.5 area. And again, my area on the 4 hour and the daily needs to match my area on the Traders Reality daily level. So I need to have some confluence there with the daily pivot, the daily high average or low average daily range, depending on what I'm watching for. I know it sounds complicated, but we are in a complicated trading situation. We are not in an easy trading situation. We are at the moment we are changing from what has been an uptrend from January the 11th when the EMAs crossed on the daily to a downtrend. So what we had here to go through, especially before the trend happened, is what we're having to deal with now. This transition until the downtrend is until the downtrend starts, which means breaking the levels of support and resistance. 23.7, the 382, and the 25K are essential for the downwards move to gain more momentum. And in that situation, again, all we need is higher highs on the daily to start shorting. So I guess this is the simplification of this. Wait for the higher high on the daily to go short, and you might go for the higher high of London or Sydney if you're watching those sessions. If you are based in the States, higher highs at the start of the New York session. It might take a couple of them because they have been constantly spiking out. So that's one of the reasons I stopped placing shorts, because they just move the market a little bit and then they spike out and they don't give any possibilities of entry. The XRP's short worked yesterday because it was in a stronger position for reversal. But BTC wasn't. On the contrary, BTC was looking like it was holding all the necessary support to continue lifting and doing a higher backtest. But that's what happened. Again, FOD happened, news with Binance happened, and the market just started dumping. Okay, so that's what we have. That's what we have for BTC, just to summarize it, we are below the 20 EMA. We have started moving downwards. I don't believe we're going to change to the upwards. What I believe is going to happen is back tests of the 20 EMA on the 4-hour and then continuation downwards. Watch for those back tests. If you're not watching, you should be placing again, I would be placing as little capital as possible to ensure a 5% stop loss. But watching is quite essential for these moments, because there is a lot of choppiness at the entry of a trade. So if you are knocked out of one position, make sure you keep watching to see when the top out will happen and take another position. Of course, not financial advice. It's what I would be doing. Okay, that's it for BTC. I know it sounds complicated. Again, it is complicated where we are right now. There's no simple way of explaining it. There has been a lot of sideways, a lot of intermediary levels. We need to follow it downwards. If you are unsure, wait for a breaking of the level and a back test. So there are plenty of trading opportunities. If you are unsure, wait for the 25K level to break, and then you can wait for a back test at that consolidation. Now, ETH is in a similar situation. I'm sorry, I'm speaking a lot, and I'm speaking quite fast. But again, we have been in this sideways. It hasn't been easy to follow it. If you have followed it, good for you. Now, this is the daily MA situation for ETH, and as you can see, ETH has been even choppier than BTC, because ETH has moved past the previous level and then moved into the next level of support and resistance where it stopped. So if you remember the S&P chart that I showed you, this is the August peak here for ETH. It's lower, so ETH broke that August peak, but here it is facing the same level of resistance. It looks quite similar, except for this difference. Same but different. We are below the 20 EMA, the 20 MA and EMA on the daily. The next level of support is the 1600 level for the daily, but we have been again consolidating in a daily triangle. These swings seem to have been complete. We have 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 touches to the bottom. However, we could still keep going, ranging between these two spaces, these two trend lines, for the next weeks until the end of the month. In July, it seems like we're drawing closer to the apex. What is the level that I'm watching for ETH to break? That level is 1780. There are some spike throughs around this level. It's a whole area of support and resistance between 1745, 1780, and I know it's quite hefty, but this is the daily space. 1745, 1780, this is the space. Once that space breaks 1600, quite a nice trade to make downwards. But we might be in some choppiness in the meantime. Now, on the daily previously, once the 50 was broken, it rushed down towards the 200. It didn't do the same here. Here, it broke the 50, came up over it, started holding it. It looked great, absolutely fantastic for continuation. I also had the top line of this as a divergence line, like so. But here it is. It's not it, because we are back at support. So 1780 for support, 1600 for target if the 1780 breaks. On the FRVP levels, the 1640 is the point of control and the 1420 is the low volume level. There is, of course, if you see here, there are a couple of high volume waves around the 1200. But again, I won't be talking about those levels. I won't be talking about bigger crashes. My point of focus is 4-hour trades. So I will be looking at 4-hour levels and 1-hour entries to confirm that. So daily gives me the direction, the 4-hour gives me the level, the 1-hour gives me the entry. Just to simplify again, to keep a main idea of the situation that we are that we're in. On the 4-hour, speaking of the 4-hour, there we go. Okay. I will be again just for I'll do the same thing as for BTC. I'll show you what my strategy is as I start my trading week today. I'll be moving the area of support back up to 1780, and I'll write it here. Daily support 1780. Again, I am approximating it on the daily time frame. We can do that because again, look at the choppiness here. It's literally 1 day up, 3 days sideways in a 1% range, 1 day down, back to base. Horrible. Horrible. Now, what is the area of backtest? The 1850 is where the 20 EMA is, and I'm watching the EMAs now. You will see me flip from EMAs to MAs in the chats. You can choose one and stick to it. Be consistent. I use them both as orientation. My levels of entries are established after the move of the session. So I'm looking at where the EMA is or the MA is, it depends. And then I backtest with the trader's reality indicator because I need to see what those precise daily levels are. They are much more precise. So 1850 would be the level of support backtest. Okay, 1850. And I will show you why I'm looking at that. Now, on the daily levels, the way we have our charts today, the 50 EMA on the 1 hour is 1844. M3, the level of reversal is 1850. The 200 EMA is a little bit higher. So that's why I'm waiting for New York to see whether or not New York is going to hit the M3 or will do a spike up and recover this. This is an imbalance in the charts. Vectors like these are generally recovered quite quickly because they happen quite quickly, because they happen without a back test. Fast move is fake move. We might just get another whole swing up to the top where they started. Backtesting the psychological levels, either the low or the high, depending on the momentum, and then the real push down. So We have broken the momentum to the upside with the fast move yesterday. Now we need a backtest to confirm it. The power of the move and the power of the direction is set in the backtest. This backtest can prove can be proven by the rejection at these levels. 200 EMA is 1860. I'm looking at the space between 1860, 1850, which is where the high ADR is, 1860, 61, somewhere in there. That would be my area of interest after today's New York session starts. That's it from me today. I'm sorry I've been repeating some things. I think it's quite interesting to see in the ranging market where we are right now, which is one of the most, to me, it's one of the most challenging times I've had to trade. Not because like it has been great on the profit side, because XRP has given plenty of moves and plenty of profits. However, it has been tricky to get a move in on ETH and BTC. I haven't looked for it 150% as I do with XRP, because that's my main area of interest. But it has been tricky because it wicks you up, it wicks you out, and then it reverses. As you can see here, we had a little entry opportunity on Sunday, but after Sunday it was just downwards. So patience is key. Tuesday is generally when the trading week starts. Monday finishes a move on the move that started on Friday. Tuesday is the new week. Wednesday set a trend. Thursday there's a slight reversal, and Friday is arranging of the books. So that would be the general flow of the trading week. But anyways, so today watch for the high ADR at the start of New York if you want to get a position in. Remember, you're gonna again, I will be watching for a 1 hour move, so there are a couple of hours to watch until we get that 1-2 on the way down, unless you want to start with a really small position so that you don't risk more than 5%. But it does look overall across the board that we are going to continue downwards. The back test will be proof of that. And we have yet to see that backtest happen. We haven't had the backtest happen yet. That's it from me. I'll be posting the levels in the chat, so let me know if you have any questions. And I wish you a nice week and a nice day.